We weren't live, but I think we're live now.
We
Yeah,
weren't
we're live.
live, but we are live now.
We're totally live now. Johnny 5 is live.
What the hell is Johnny 5 is live? Maybe
All
I'm
right, well,
missing
the
out
real line is Johnny 5 is alive. You don't know what Johnny 5 is?
on Johnny 5.
Johnny 5 is alive.
Really? Am I supposed to know this?
Short Circuit,
it's
you've never
that-
seen it?
Okay, no, I've never seen Short Circuit.
Oh my
I've
gosh,
seen that
we
robot.
should-
I've seen the memes of the robot, but I've never seen the actual film.
Toddy,
Short Circuit
like-
2 as well. You know what I mean?
that's even better, actually. I think Short Circuit 2 is a superior film to Short Circuit 1.
Oh my goodness. So this is like how
I don't know if you can find it anywhere though, because
the Terminator 2 is better than Terminator 1. Is that it?
I think that's
Would
true.
you
Also,
put-
actually, for
would
me,
you
that's
put-
true.
Short Circuit against Terminator or no?
No, it's not that good. Even though they're both about robots, like I don't think you know.
Robots.
Speculation and spoilers. There's no spoilers, right?
It's
We're
the
not
most
doing.
unprepared beginning to any stream we've done.
I had problems. I couldn't log in. I forgot my password. I reset my password. And I haven't streamed in so long.
The password is malfunction.
Yes. There's 4 people watching. There are 4 people watching. If you're
Hello,
watching...
4 people. Glory to you and to your house.
If you're watching, feel free to say hi. I don't have a Section 31 badge. Do you?
Somewhere. I don't have it here.
You actually have one?
I do have one. You want me to go get it?
I mean, if you want to, I don't care, but I'm just gonna put my
he doesn't
regular.
care. So I don't care.
Yeah. All right.
I
So
have one somewhere.
I think before we get started here, if you're joining us, by the way, we're back on another exciting episode of Starfleet So Hail, where we have a casual and informal conversation about Star Trek. Today we're focused on Section 31, a project that I never thought would get made, but it's here. It's done. It's made.
The original Star Trek Discovery spinoff, so to speak. Like this was the original plan, right? This was the first thing that was supposed to come out after those first seasons of Discovery.
It was originally gonna. Hey, Braxton's in the audience. Good morning. I'm heading to a funeral. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh, for my grandmother's neighbor, but wanted to say hello. Saturday greetings. Hello, Braxton.
Starfleet condolences.
Yeah. Yes. Starfleet. We just put Starfleet in front of everything.
Well,
like it's
it's like
Starfleet
Batman.
So Hail.
You know what I mean? If Batman can do it, so can we.
2 of the writers of Discovery were tapped back then to create a new show, and I guess they did, right? Like they created like a pilot, or just were starting to work on it. And then the idea. Why did the idea disappear? Was it the pandemic?
I don't know what happened. It was Boyon Kim, Erica Lippold, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
The team behind this. So for those that don't know, they write. They're like a writing duo, and they wrote a few episodes of Star Trek Discovery. Many of which were kind of Saru centric. So they wrote the short treks too about Saru, and about how Philip Jojo, the Prime Jojo, went to get Saru back on that planet. Yeah, so they were the writing team that were originally tapped by Alex Kurtzman to like lead this new show, because Starfleet Section 31 was supposed to be a show. And at that time, we didn't really know where Alex Kurtzman was going with this, but he was basically starting this trend that he has of like designating showrunners that are like main writers, and so that's what we see now with, of course, Mike McMahon, etc. Like everyone has their own kind of show, I guess. And I don't know why it kind of fell apart. Maybe scheduling. I mean, Michelle Yeoh kind of got big at that point. Like she had that second success in her career. I think maybe the character of Tyler that was supposed to be involved with Section 31. I don't think people necessarily. I don't know if they wanted to bring Tyler back because he doesn't seem to be in this film.
My mom totally wants Shazad Latif to be back.
Oh, she wants Shazad Latif, hot
Yeah,
man
but
Shazad Latif.
But he's too busy harassing Clem Fandango, so you know. Actually, that show's gone too, right? It's done. Can you hear me, Clem? Can you hear me?
I don't know. I don't know why it all fell apart. Like so. I don't know because
hey,
it also
eternal.
it also seemed like for a minute there. I think it's in season 2 or 3 or whatever. Like they were building sets for like these Section 31 ships where like they had a ship like a bridge set right for like a Section 31 ship.
Yeah,
that
in
Michelle
Discovery
Yeoh was on. Yeah, and it's like they had things built, and it seemed like they were ready to go to make this Section 31 show. But I don't know. I guess so many other things kind of like the list of priorities kind of expands, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so they moved into Picard pretty quick. I think when they managed to like get Sir Patrick Stewart on board, they were probably like, let's put everything to the side and do this
On
Picard
hold,
thing while we can, right?
Right.
And then of course Mike McMahon, you know, they pick up the animated show with Mike McMahon, and so it's kind of like I think all of the rest kind of just got put on the side, like on the sidelines.
And then the two
season
writers.
3, I'm sorry, yeah, season 3 comes out.
Right.
No, and so Discovery's gone somewhere else completely, and the fan
Strange
reception.
New Worlds, was the big
the fan
push.
reception was so big for Pike and Spock. You know what I mean? That like and number 1 and all that it was kind of inevitable to make that spin-off, so to speak. You know what I mean?
But then Michelle Yeoh blows up. She gets an Academy Award, and surprisingly, she wants to do this thing. Like this is her pet project, if you will. Like she doesn't need to do this. Like there's no reason. But she's like, I love the Star Trek folks. They were so good to me. And it's true. You know what I mean? Like she's like, I love that whole world.
I haven't seen interviews about this. Like, has she done interviews where she's talked about this? And
I vaguely remember seeing something. I don't know if it was like an interview or a blurb that I read, but it was that the gist of it was just that she was like excited about it. So they repackaged it into a film instead of a show, and I'm actually happy about that because
I am too.
I don't think I could have. That might have been the first Star Trek show I didn't watch.
Oh wow!
Just like this is just not interesting. A Section 31, the whole concept is uninteresting to me. Like even back in DS9, no, seriously, even back in DS9, I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. I have very little interest in it beyond.
What was his name? Sloan? Was that
Sloan? Sloan. Yeah.
You didn't like him?
I'm just more interested in the good guys than the gray guys, if you will.
The gray guys.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they're not bad, but you know what I mean. They're not.
Well, they're not necessarily good, are they? I guess they're gray.
They're gray. Gandalf the Grey, Michelle Yeoh the Grey. So yeah, since we have a little audience building here, guys, tell us what your thoughts are about Section 31. Toddy, should we watch to refresh our memories? Should we do like a watch reaction without like putting the trailer on the screen? Should we just like stream it and then just like kind of?
I will do as you please.
Okay, cool.
Section 32 is better. Can you imagine if like Section 32 of like the Federation, what is it? Like the Constitution or whatever it is?
What's that?
Section 32.
What is Section 32?
Well, can you imagine if Section 32 is about like it's just about like respecting potted plants or something completely unrelated?
I would love a show about respecting potted plants in the Star Trek universe. I'm torn a little bit on this concept because it is looking like it's going to be a departure from all the Starfleet stuff, which even makes me less interested. But also, I'm happy for that because a lot of Star Trek fans, such as yourself, have been wanting to see a Star Trek that goes away from the usual formula. Is that right? Like, would I be right in like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been wanting just a straight up Klingon show for years. Just
Oh,
Klingons, no
Andorian.
humans.
Wasn't it the
But
Andorian show?
yeah, I want an Andorian coming of age story about like a young Andorian discovering the four genders or whatever. I think that would be very interesting.
Are you caught up on Star Trek Lower Decks?
I am indeed. So
Okay, I like this comment
I've
from
been
Joel.
I've been pretty caught up with Lower Decks because it's the last season. I'm putting in some effort. Section 31 is better when it's closing quantum fissures with the pole.
I dug that. That is the Section 31 that was different
Jolene.
from Jolene.
Straight up, just
Jolene.
the one name.
The one name. I like that. Her Instagram is like that too.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow! When you type in Section 31, our live stream comes up as the third.
Damn,
option.
bro. That's it.
We're the third option.
We're gaming the algorithm.
No one's talking about it.
The CPM on this is going to be crazy because we've got the monopoly on talking about Section 31. Oh wait, you don't monetize, do you?
By the way, if anyone wants to help me monetize, please subscribe. I don't think I'll ever reach badge. I don't think I'll ever reach their threshold. Anyways, let me.
Well, that's because they keep bumping it up, don't they? Every 2 years, they raise
like
the
the
bar.
grapes, like in whatever that story is. You know, the guy's trying to reach the grapes, but they're just barely in reach from mythology. All right, here's the trailer link for the audience. I'm posting it in the chat. Pull it up, and then we'll do a 5 count, and then are you ready? Do you have it pulled up, Toddy?
Oh my goodness. Yes, we're good to go.
Okay. All right. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Dun dun. All right. So, see, clink clink, laughing. That's Sharon, I think, from the original series. Lots of clinking. She has her own space station. So Georgia has a space station, which is pretty interesting.
I like that music.
So there's some mirror universe. It looks like flashbacks.
Yeah, clearly.
January 24th, by the way, is the release date. So this is supposed to. There's Rachel Garrett with the line, "Starfleet is here to make sure you don't commit murder."
Yeah. Which is a bit ridiculous because at this point, Starfleet is the one committing murder, but.
Oh, I didn't. The thing that I'm a little so this place, well, anyways, there's like this dude who's a gangster or whatever. They're trying to get him to talk. He's got like all kinds of implants, and I think that was San from Discovery, from the Mirror Universe plots. There's a lot of explosions. There's ships flying. There's a photon torpedo. Countdown. Boom boom. A rift of some kind, and then Star Trek, and then Section 31. All right, that's it. That's the whole trailer. We watched the trailer.
That's it.
We did it. We watched the trailer.
So, first of all, do we think this misrepresents the film the same way like the original Star Trek Beyond trailer misrepresented Beyond?
I think
not.
So.
Okay.
I think there's going to be a lot of surprises. I think that but I don't think it's like unintentional misrepresentation the way that the Beyond trailer was, where it was just cut like in a way that was not thoughtful to the target audience.
Okay.
I think this is an intentional kind of misrepresentation in which they kind of don't want you to know all the surprises they have in store.
Oh, okay. So you think they have like secrets and it's subterfuge.
I just think there's going to be a lot more of the familiar than we think based on this trailer. Like, I have a hope. I'm not sure, but I have a hope that either the Enterprise B or something from that time period, from this time period, that this is the Lost Era, is when it's supposed to take place. This takes place in between Star Trek
Really?
6.
This is official?
Yeah, my understanding is that. Well, I don't know if it's official. Anyone in the audience, if you know for sure, my understanding from the previous discussions I've had is that this takes place in between Star Trek 6 and TNG, and actually, sorry, it is official because the character Rachel Garrett is there as a young version.
Okay.
So it's pre-Captain Garrett, right? And we know that this character is going to go on to become the captain of the Enterprise C, but she's not that right now. She's like a lieutenant or maybe a commander or something. I'm not sure what her rank is, but she's definitely not the captain of Enterprise C. So that's my hope, is that the Enterprise B, it would be an awesome opportunity to do that. Michelle Yeoh is such a huge name. It wouldn't surprise me if she was able to get Alan Ruck to cameo or make an appearance on the show as Captain Harriman, like an older, kind of Captain Harriman or something like that. That would make this movie awesome for me. Just having somehow a little bit of that, in there. But there's no evidence that we're gonna get any of that. Like, and that's why I think it's intentional. Like, they don't show a single familiar Star Trek tropey thing at all in the trailer, and I think that's intentional.
So I'm gonna throw thoughts at you, okay?
Yeah.
These are the thoughts that I have, and these are the feelings that I feel.
As they say on this one, these are your top thoughts.
These are my top thoughts. Okay, fair enough. And I just want to, I guess brainstorm off it, or you can talk about this. So Section 31 is interesting to me because, first of all, it's strange because I'm on the other side of the argument for one of the first times in a long time. Usually, I'm the one that isn't so much hype about these new live action shows, and like you are, or the other, like the rest of the fandom is. Here, it seems like the rest of the fandom is kind of pushing back, not really a fan of what they're doing with Section 31, and I seem to be the only one that kind of wants it. I think the reason why I want it, or it makes sense to me, is because for once there's a justifiable reason to have the show be dark and gritty and have violence in it. Whereas like the darkness and the grittiness in Discovery, it is a bit jarring. Sometimes the non-utopian vision that Picard brought sometimes can be a bit jarring. And even sometimes in Strange New Worlds, like they talk a lot about like doing all of these positive things and being like a utopia, but like talking isn't necessarily doing, and sometimes they don't do as much as they should do. They just talk. Here I feel like it's more justified because it is Section 31. Is it going to be more of an actiony, explosion-y Section 31 than like the manipulative Section 31 that we saw in Deep Space Nine? I think so. But yeah,
The
so
whole
that's
vibe is like Ocean's 11, or what's the movie with the villains that become a team in the DC.
the Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Thank you. That's the vibe that I get from the trailer. So yeah, a lot of action.
Maybe, but it doesn't seem comedic as such. Like I think there's a couple jokes in the
Michelle
trailer.
Yeoh's making jokes throughout this whole trailer.
It doesn't really land though. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
we're
yeah,
not laughing, so to speak. Like you know what I mean? Like they're trying to
I'm
be a
laughing.
bit fun, I guess.
Nervously
not funny.
laughing. I'm
Oh, okay.
nervously laughing.
I am happy that they're making a film because I think this works better as a movie than it works as like a show. So I agree with that. The only thing that really scares me, and this is maybe me because I don't know that much about graphic design and stuff. I feel like they kind of just slapped this thing together, like the trailer. You know what I mean? Like the quality of the actual images from the show or the movie is one thing, but like I feel like the fonts and the little like coming January 24th, it's all like really just generic kind of like, you know what I mean?
I think they put a lot of thought into it, but I don't think they had a lot of time
Okay.
because Do you know what I mean? But I don't think it's like, I think it's intentionally kind of sloppy and like edgy and like, you know, that graphic
So
look or
I'm
whatever.
getting mad stuff like Star Trek Discovery season 1 flashbacks from this.
Well,
Like,
even the tone, like the color palette or whatever, if you will. Oh, this is interesting. Cake says, in IMDb, they also show young Giorgio and Giorgio's mother. So we'll meet a character that's Giorgio's mom, I guess, which is kind of interesting.
okay.
Who has been long speculated to be maybe Hoshi. Didn't she become like a emperor of the Mirror Universe in Enterprise?
I got shut down and I got told I was a racist by one of the writers of Discovery for saying that. So,
For saying that Hoshi might be Giorgio's mom?
yes.
Oh, a writer of Discovery?
Yes.
Interesting.
The reason
Like,
behind that is because Hoshi is Japanese.
oh,
And of course,
and
Michelle Yeoh is
Georgia
not.
is from a different place. Yeah, well, is
The,
that
the, the
stated
two the
on the
two
thing? I
act the
forget.
two okay, so the two actors are different. That's like, I guess the two sides of the argument is the writer of Discovery was saying the two actors
Right.
are very are of different Asian descents, like they come from different Asian countries.
I
And so
see.
to
Well, I don't
confuse
know.
that is like, I guess, racist. Whereas
There's
I
no.
was saying, you know, like,
Mhm.
like you can there's nothing stated about where either come from. I think maybe Hoshi, they said that she comes from Japan, maybe in
And
Enterprise.
I think they say something about Giorgio having ties to Malaysia or something like that. I'm not 100%
Maybe,
sure.
I don't know.
But I don't think it matters. Like, you could be born in like, you could be of a certain nationality and born, or we don't know anything about Giorgio's father, like why she has the name Giorgio to begin with. So there's a lot of ways you can make it work. So I don't know.
Asian
I don't
represented
agree with
Asian
the Discovery
representation.
writer. You're not a
Yeah,
racist.
I don't
I
agree
take
with the
it.
Discovery writer. I do agree though that Asian representation has always been like a topic, you know, of discussion. I think that, you know, in recent years they've been doing better.
Mhm.
And of course Michelle Yeoh has a lot to do with that as well in recent years. But yeah. So maybe they would be related. I don't think so.
I'm just saying
Based off that.
timeline wise, it kind of makes sense because Giorgio is emperor pre Star Trek TOS, and so she would be somewhere in the line, and it could also be that I forget, but like there was this whole thing about Giorgio being a mother to Burnham, like being motherly to Burnham's character. I don't know. There's a lot to unpack about Giorgio, and I don't know if we're gonna see from the trailer. I don't know if we're gonna see any of that necessarily. It looks like the flashbacks go back to a very young Giorgio,
Mm.
you know, and we did get that little tease in Star Trek Discovery that there was someone that she maybe either was her brother or, you know, someone special to her who dies, you know, and she screams out his name, San, or something like that, right? And it looks like we saw a character in this and she's like saying things like together we can survive or something. I don't know, there's some stuff going on. There's
So
some heavy
I want to
stuff
be
there.
clear. The only thing I haven't seen Star Trek wise so far is Discovery season 5, right? The Emperor is not in Discovery season 5. Correct.
Wait, what was that? Repeat.
The only Star Trek Discovery season 5 is the only season of Star Trek I haven't seen, and the
Okay.
Emperor Giorgio is not in season 5. Correct.
Yeah, I can confirm that she's not in it, but she might have been mentioned, but that's about it.
Okay, well they use what is it, the Guardian of Forever, for her to go back. Carl. They use Carl to go back to send her someplace. Oh no, she's sent where she needs to be, or something like enigmatic like that, I guess.
The last time we see Giorgio on screen, she's phasing out, and very painfully, because if you travel from a different dimension to the same time, you're fine. The further you go back in time or forwards in time, you start to glitch out from that from the new dimension that you're in, because you can time travel only in your own dimension. So if you time travel, so that's what happened to Giorgio when she was in the 2200s,
Yeah.
or I guess, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
she was fine. But once she traveled in our dimension, once she
Yeah.
traveled to the future, very far into the future,
Yeah, like 1,000 years later. Yeah.
yeah, she started to glitch out. So what Carl did, you're absolutely right, is like basically send her where she needs to be. So now we don't know how she got from that. We don't know where he sent her, but from there to the Lost Era is where she is now. That Lost Era is about maybe, I would say, from where she is supposed to be in her time period,
100 years.
maybe 100 years. So maybe we do see
That's a
her like
bit. That's better than 1,000.
it's better than 1,000. So, but she might still have complications from that, and that may be a plot point in
Will we
the.
see the loom?
Oh, that would be cool to see a live action Loom. That
A
would be
live
really
action
neat.
loom. That'd be interesting.
See, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. I think there's going to be all of these shows and things have done a pretty good job of connecting, you know. And Aaron Walke has gone into interviews saying that like that after a certain point there was a lot more communication between the different shows so that they didn't miss, especially since they were starting to overlap in time periods or whatever,
Mhm.
so like that's why you have such a good connection from Star Trek Prodigy season 2 and Star Trek Picard, and things like that. There's
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of good things like that. Earlier, Art was saying, just why have some Star Trek fans always been so afraid and negative of any new Trek? So, criticism is appropriate after something has aired, but beforehand, we'll have a few other thoughts. I understand that completely. Like, I fundamentally don't want any of the things I love to just be in a box, but at the same time, I want to see more of the things I love. And I think, you know, Arthur, it's kind of unfair to think that anyone's going to react differently than how the reactions are. like most people love Star Trek for the starships, the Federation perspective, Starfleet. That's like most people want to see more of that. And in fact, most people want to, as we saw from the
That's why
success of Star
most
Trek.
people started making like TNG and whatever, like because they were
Well,
fans of those elements in like the original
well, Star
series.
Trek Picard season 3, I think, is very important for a lot of reasons. It was wildly popular because it kind of satiated that desire, like for the longest time. Like people were like, I'll just talk for myself. I was tired of prequels. Like I was tired of going back. I wanted to see something that was at least in the quote unquote present of Star Trek or its future. That's why I love Star Trek Discovery after they go. To me, once Star Trek Discovery went into the 32nd century, I was happy as a clam because I was like, yeah, now like it's new. It's like I'm getting stuff that I've never seen before. And then I love Star Trek Picard, so I'm an exception. I love it all, like from season 1 onward. But it finally gave us the continuation of not just this character, who was still had open ends, right? Like these TNG characters, but also it caught us up to what the state of the world, the universe is at that point in the 25th century. So, yeah, I agree. I want more interesting, diverse shows, but I want more of the
Um,
the standard formula.
so to
So that's why
piggyback,
again, I'm also glad that this is a movie and not a show because I'll watch it and then it's gonna surprise me. I'm sure of it, and then that'll be that. Then we can go back to da, 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 or whatever.
to piggyback off what you're saying, I often use Red Letter Media as an example. I think that Red Letter Media have been pretty vocal of their distaste and displeasure of like recent Star Trek, and they thoroughly detested and made fun of Picard's season 1 and 2. But then like they just fanboyed out completely for season 3, and like it won them over. And you can tell that maybe from like the critical thinking like standpoint, like they still had things that they could criticize from like the filmmaking perspective, whatever, but they were won over by like the feels, you know what I mean, of the show, and like the importance of the bookend and the ending to like that specific era, that specific like want from Star Trek that they had. So like I think what you're saying is correct. Like Picard season 3 has definitely impacted and influenced a lot. The second thing I wanted to say to Art is, so why have some Star Trek fans always been afraid and negative of anything new? I don't necessarily think it comes from a bad place. I think it comes from a place of love and passion. You have a tendency, or people have a tendency of becoming very protective over things that they like and that they enjoy, and that they care very deeply about. And so maybe it's not the best reaction, but sometimes you can be afraid of what someone is doing with a certain property or whatever. Of course, it is not the fans' property. You know, we don't choose, and it's the bosses that do, and they make their own creative things. And you're absolutely right. We need to let them have creative leeway to experiment and try new things. That's the whole point of Star Trek, right? Like we do new things. We go boldly. It's all about trying and doing things first. But I understand why people get protective about it, because it means so much to them. Often
Yeah,
in their
and
formative years
I
too.
think
You know what I mean?
we're learning also with recent actual events in real life that I think it's so great that people are starting to wake up to like, wait a second, your channel is all about creating division. That's how you make your money. Like people are starting to like see that. Like we've been seeing these things like, so you can't always associate those, like, channels that tend to have a pattern, you like tend to like always kind of harp on something because it's true division creates arguments and things like that. So I just think that like it's not that like I think the average reaction is not as extreme as what you see online sometimes where people are like, which which I clickbaited the title of my tweet, which was, is Star Trek over? I don't think Star Trek, that's not really going to be a thing. Like Star Trek will probably have lulls and highs, but it will not. At this point, I think Star Trek's an institution that will be around, and it's going to evolve and it's going to change and stuff like that. And I think most people are just kind of like, mellow about it. They're not like, oh my god, this is the end of the world. Like I hate this. It's not like that for most Star Trek fans. I think it's just a matter of like what I stated earlier. Like this is my chief interest in Star Trek and what I want to see, and this maybe is not exciting me in that way. But like I said, I think it's intentional. I do think that they've got something up their sleeves and we're all going to be like, oh my god, after the film, all the discussions are be like, did you see that? I hope. I think like it's going to be that kind of thing. Art has some follow-ups for you. I'm going to read them to you on the air here. All the audience also, we love these live discussions. We love it when it's like an interaction, so feel free to share more of your thoughts and stuff like that. Thanks for agreeing with me, Chuck. Also, before I read Art's comments, this was great. We are that's great also, but we are gonna do second breakfast. It's not just something we've been saying. We're gonna do it. We said January, right, Toddy?
Yes. Yeah. We're just gonna let the holiday season go by and
holiday
start
season, yeah. So and then we're gonna do our second breakfast discussions, which is our Lord of the Rings thing. But Giorgio, actually, I think Sauron stands no chance against Giorgio.
Okay. I'm not sure about that, but okay.
Giorgio was successful in her tyranny in the Mirror Universe, so much so that people were like, "You're making a main character a murderer a main character." So Art said, "I've experienced it ever since the animated series when it was announced, and practically with every new Trek. But to me, the only bad Treks have been the very short Treks, and it has always been proven wrong. Negativity. I understand that, and I understand all that's been said, but I think Trek fans are more open-minded and expect more of us. And Section 31 is awful. I will be as verbose about it as I have been with very short Treks."
So at least the very short Treks are non-canon. They don't count. They were just kind of like a sidestep. And they very much failed.
So this is a
Um,
space station that belongs to Giorgio.
hold on, I have one more thing to say
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go
before
ahead.
we go into this. Because you joke about this being like the end of Star Trek, the clickbait title here. Do you think, because this is the first film we're gonna have in a long time, it's also the first video on demand film, like the first streaming film. So it kind of is like, it's not just some random, just another thing. You know what I mean? If it was a show, you could say, it's just another show in the Kurtzman era. It's not. It's an actual film. So, like, do you think that makes this important? And do you think like the success of this film could define, um, in some way, like the direct future of Star Trek? Like, if this film makes, like, it has no streams or whatever, like no one cares about it, do you think that that'll impact the making of future films, or is the theatrical like projects, you think that's a completely different story and it won't be affected by this?
I think that this will be definitely a part of the film legacy, if you will.
Okay.
But I do think, since it's a new thing, like it's a streaming only thing, that yeah, of course they're going to be paying attention to how it performs to
Okay.
see what they want to do going forward. But I don't think it means, if it doesn't do well, which I I think it's going to do pretty well.
Okay.
That's my prediction. I don't know if it'll be like a phenomenal success, but I do think it's going to be well. I guess the thing is that, do I think people are going to subscribe to Paramount Plus who've never subscribed just to see Michelle Yeoh's latest film? I think that's like, one of the big things here. I don't know. Let me see how many views the trailer has. 1 second. That I know that's not like an indicator, but 2 million views, and it was 6 days ago. So yeah, I would say that's a pretty good response for 6 days ago. 2 million views. I mean, nowadays things get 2 million views in like a few hours, right?
Yeah.
So, but I would say that 2 million views is pretty strong. I think that's pretty good for a trailer. So at least 2 million times it was streamed. It wasn't just Trek YouTube channels streaming it.
Well, okay, let me just check something. I know it's difficult to compare.
I agree with Chuck here in the audience. I think what will be cool is that I think streaming films, these on-demand films, are probably less expensive to make than theatrical films, not from a budgetary filming perspective, but from a marketing distribution perspective.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So they can make more. And I do agree, like, Section 31 might not be my bag, but it opens the door for like a Lower Decks movie, like Lower Decks is already teased at, with those holodeck programs
That would cost so much more than what this costs, I think, though, because the
it
cost
doesn't
of
matter, but
animation
it
is
will
so
still
high.
it still wouldn't cost as much as a theatrical release.
Yeah.
I think, you have to spend a lot of money in marketing and distribution and all that. And I think that's a lot of times what do they say, if the film is like 200K to make or whatever, that you have to spend almost the same amount just to market it and then distribute
I
it?
think, yes, as a general rule, you need to double a film's budget, basically. So, like, when a film has been, they spent 100 million on it,
Right.
you can say that they need 200 million to break even, because they've spent another 100 million on the marketing. Usually, that's what's said.
And I don't know exactly how the return on investment works with a streaming film, because I don't understand how they make money off of streaming beyond subscriptions.
I do not understand.
So I think maybe there's something to the international releases. Maybe licensing it to other platforms makes them a little money. Maybe it will be released in theaters in a limited capacity.
Netflix,
I don't know.
right? Netflix, they will produce their own films and then release them on their own platform, but then they don't license it to anyone else because they are international. So they just have it on Netflix everywhere. How do they make money from that? Is it just subscriptions?
Well,
But like the
Netflix is a different animal
50,000,
because
yeah, but they release
yeah,
like 6 movies a day. You know what I mean? Like
it's
the crap Christmas movies, they release 6 a day. How are they generating revenue from this? Like no one is subscribing to Netflix to see these films.
I think they have
If you
something
have Netflix, they're
I
there,
think
but you're not
I might
going
be
for them.
I might be using this term wrong, but they have something called loss leaders in the industry where it's like, it's not going to make money, but it's putting out something that will
Well, the food industry
then
has that. We have that in the food industry, yes.
right. So it's like you're doing it more for like it's better to have content than not have content for long periods in their mind because they want people to continually also watch, But I mean, I'm also talking from I forgot about this component. Paramount Plus does have an ad component because I forgot that unless you're paying for no ads, you actually do get ads on Paramount Plus. So they could have some big advertise. That could be a potential thing too. Is that you might have, you can offset some of that cost with. And does Netflix have ads too? Is there an ads tier on Netflix?
No.
Really? That's great. I didn't know that. There's no sponsored content on. I don't know. I hate commercials, so I pay. I like to watch commercials like when I want to see like some, you know what I mean? But like normally, no, I don't watch. Like I don't want to see. I don't want my show interrupted by a commercial. In other words, but I'll watch it. Ooh, a new hot neighbor that just. That was funny. Anyways, yeah. So I don't know, but I don't think that if it's not successful, I don't think it's the end of Star Trek streaming movies.
Okay. Okay.
To answer your question, that was a long way.
So no,
getting
absolutely.
to
But I'm just trying to figure out whether this is something that they already had planned. So whatever happens, like whatever the success of this is, this was just gonna come out anyway, or if they're really going to be looking at it and using like this as like the judgment. You know what I mean? To see whether or not they do more.
Yeah. I agree. What I want for Christmas is Netflix to order more Prodigy, an announcement for a live action Lower Decks, and a Discovery continuation movie. I would love that too, actually, Art. And by the way, just a little aside, if you stream Star Trek Prodigy between now and the end of the year, apparently it's a really good indicator for Netflix about a show's viability or whatever. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so now is a great time to stream season 1 and season 2 of
Tweet at them.
yeah. Aaron Walkie's already tweeted about this, so or also what is it called on Blue Sky? Skeeting? I'm not gonna use that. He posted on I do hope we get fleets, man.
That'd be cool.
I miss those days. But yeah, Discovery continuing in movies would be awesome. As well, and live action Lower Decks as a movie would be fun, but I really like Lower Decks as an animated show. I think they should stick to their roots and just do like fun live action like tidbits here and there, but I don't want the show to transition from a animated to a live action. Real quick on that. What's your quick thought on that?
I wouldn't mind having like I like the Mary Poppins Bedknobs and Broomsticks type shit. You know what I mean? Like I like it when the animated characters and the live action characters like crossover, I guess. The original Space Jam has like one of the best, most amazing sequences ever. Like when Daffy and Daffy and Bugs are like I don't know they're sneaking around in the house. It's absolutely incredible, and I would love to see that. Like I would love to see, but I know that you're a bit iffy about having like the live action and the animation crossover or be in the
I
same
just
scene
don't think
together because
I
you think
think
it
that
doesn't make
like
sense. You think that
it's not that it doesn't make sense, like I'll
they
accept it,
all
but I just think
they perceive themselves as like
exactly
normal, so to speak. You know what I mean?
right. I think it could make sense 100%, but they would have to do it as a anomaly like they did with the musical episode. Like something would have to have triggered for people to see cartoons.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like that
yeah.
would be the way that I would think that it would look because again, yeah, in universe they're not animated and the live action or all of Star Trek's animated. You know, like
Yeah, well,
you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like
in
in universe
universe
it's not.
they
Yeah,
are
it's
they
not.
are in
Yeah.
universe. That's all.
Yeah.
Like no one is
Yeah.
animated or non-animated. They
Right.
just
It's
are.
just right. They're just how they are.
They
Yeah.
is.
They is exactly like the way
Um
they did it in the Strange New Worlds episode was just kind of the way that I like it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know,
I think I would prefer it to be animated. Like if they really did a film, I
mhm,
would prefer it to be animated. Um
mhm.
I would yeah.
Yeah. So okay,
But
let's
if I
talk
were to
about.
choose a film, it wouldn't be necessarily a Lower Decks one. I think it would be like if we can't get a new season of Prodigy, I would want a Prodigy film. If I were to choose.
Yeah, I mean at this point, I think again, you know, it's a cool thing that
And we have them all.
yeah, we can have them all. I've never been about this whole scarcity thing. You know, I'm post scarcity Star Trek. I think Star Trek can do everything. You know, so different strokes for
Controversially, actually, I want more Kelvin timeline.
not controversial. I think a lot of people have warmed like now we have sentimental attachments to those films, and just like with Picard, I think there's a desire to see those characters
Captain Sulu, yo.
further along in their journey. Yeah, I know. Like, there's a
I
lot of
want my Kelvin timeline Captain Sulu movie.
yeah. That's the exciting thing about this Section 31 is it does open the door to all these possibilities, as Mr. Spock would say. But Toddy, I'm trying to talk to you about this trailer here, and you know, if you could just focus for a moment and tell me your thoughts on the design of the space station and like what are your thoughts about Georgia running a space station?
Well, that's a bit terrifying. Um, is she reformed? Is she like trying to do
Well, we
better?
already I think she's already I feel like that answered a
She's got a
question.
long way to go.
I think the
She's
answer
still
to
got a
that
long way to
question
go.
was yes in Star Trek Discovery season
Okay.
3 or
Okay.
4. I
It's
think
an
she's
interesting
reformed.
space station. Does it make sense? Not necessarily, but I got kind of Deep Space Nine vibes with it, especially when like they
The
had the
colors, the goldish
yeah, but like even
bronze
the way
colors.
it kind of like it went above like the font, like the writing. They had the writing, you know, the title card, and then it went over it. It gave me like Deep Space Nine opening sequence, like title sequence vibes.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is definitely a place where Quark would have something. You know what I mean? Like he would have, you know, the Quark's bar sitting
Which
in
is
here.
like what yeah, there's a bar here. Uh what's interesting is this character here on the left is part of this crew, but it looks like he's with Giorgio before she gets recruited. Maybe I mean we don't know what the order is of anything,
Mm.
you know, but I know this character is supposed to be in it. It definitely, I feel like, has the look of Discovery, and I feel like, you know, they can do kind of whatever they want, but I feel like I wanted to see personally more of the original series film aesthetic incorporated like somewhere. But again, that's what I think. I think that's what you wouldn't see that on a space station that's not, you know, a
So
Starfleet space station.
I'm not expecting that at all. And if they do that, I would be like, I would lose my shit. It would be insane. I'd be like, what the hell? Like, I'm expecting really like Discovery season 1, like season 2 aesthetics.
So
That
you think if we see a Starfleet vessel, it's not gonna look
no,
like
it'll look Discovery-ish.
really?
Yes, I
I
think
don't think
so. I
so.
think it'll be like all black and spiky. And it'll have like these angular like designs and lines because it'll be Section 31-ish, right? And I think it might even
Well,
like
no, we're definitely gonna see section, and I think we see them in the trailer. I'm just saying, if you see if you were to see the Enterprise B, do you think it's gonna look like it did in Generations, or do you think they're gonna redesign it?
I don't think we will see the Enterprise B, but if we
I'm
do,
just saying,
yes,
if we do,
it would be redesigned the same way
really,
yes, I think that the same way they redesigned the Enterprise.
So you think they're gonna continue that?
Yes, I think that's the trend.
Interesting.
Am I correct? Who the fuck knows?
Audience, yeah, what
But
do you think? If we see, that's the big question. If we see the Enterprise, just as an example, if we see the Enterprise B in this movie, do you think the production team will have redesigned it to be something completely different, or just like to make that joke 25% different than, than
I
what
haven't
we're
heard that in a long
expecting?
time.
Or do you think that they'll try to stick true? I mean, it's further along in her journey, so I expect some refits going on in the bridge. We might get a new bridge module for her,
Mhm.
but I think the outside is going to look like she was quote unquote supposed to, I would say.
Mm. What's going
I don't
on?
know. I think no, I was looking in the audience because I got distracted. So this is a character from the original series. You remember that episode? What is it? Our Let This Be Our Last Battlefield? What is it? What is
Yeah,
the
that's it.
episode?
Something like that.
Or is that it, right? And we had speaking of racists, we had the Sharons who were racist against each other because some of them had the
Well, some
opposite
of them were black and white, but others were white and black.
in black. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how you can live, knowing that other people are white and black when you're black and white. It's truly just terrible. They were supposed to be, like, from what I understood back then in that episode, like they were the only two that were left. But then we didn't have that much expositional backstory to like just say that they were the absolute only two that were left.
Well, and I think I saw online that someone pointed out that they were a warp capable species, so it could be that they were the only two left on the planet.
Yeah,
like
I
they
mean,
had destroyed it.
so this guy is not one of those two, right? He's just another one of that species.
And also, maybe they resolved their differences, and
That's bullshit. I don't believe that.
This person,
then they could never do that. The planet, they completely destroyed their own planet. You know what I mean? No.
Yeah. No, I get it, but I think
maybe this guy was over it. He was like, you know what? I'm over this. I'm going to a place where they don't judge me on what side is white and what side is black. And so he joined Section 31.
Well, what's new in the design is that in the show, the hair color didn't match the skin thing, and now I like what Joel wrote. The cool Sharons dye their hair to be the opposite color on each side. I think that would have been amazing if they had done that, but then people would be like, "This is another species" or whatever. Yeah, it's interesting that, and that's the other thing is that I think we're going to see a lot of species pop up. I think you're going to get your Andorians, your Klingon. There's going to be a lot of kind of cameos of aliens. So I do think that's going to be something that we see. But what's interesting to me is, to your point about, Discovery wanting to do their own take. This is actually very faithful to, in terms of design. I would say that this is pretty faithful to, aside from the hair thing, which which isn't, maybe that's how, some Sharons are. But I would say that like the design is pretty faithful. The lighting's very dark, so you can't really see the character, in too much detail. Oh, and then you know what? Now that I'm looking, interesting. So you see this part, the outfit that they're wearing has a sleeve on this, like a shoulder covering on this side. But here, this looks like bare skin, and it doesn't look like this side is black.
It looks like bare skin.
Yeah, this little section on the left here, where the shoulder's kind of exposed over here.
No, I don't think there's any bare skin there.
You don't see a bare skin? Oh, okay.
I think he's wearing
it's
white.
cloth.
I think he's wearing white on the black side and black on the white side. See?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now
that I think maybe that's his
right.
way of manifesting against.
By the way, you're assuming their gender.
I am.
I know.
Because
I had the opposite. I thought they present female. That's interesting that you think they present male.
Well, we don't even know if there's males and females in this species.
They
haven't addressed it. All they addressed was the colors.
Right. Oh, here's a little better shot. Yeah, it's cloth. You're right. Is that a Christmas tree in the background? Dave, thank you. Yeah, I just realized it is the outfit. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. Here's another shot of the singer, which I don't know what species they are.
No clue.
No. Dave, that's absolutely right. Like the Andorians have 4 genders, they could have 3 genders. That could be a Charon that we know. They're racist against the 3rd gender, so that's why they didn't even mention them in the original series. They're like,
well, they wouldn't be racist, would they? Like again, they were already racist, like, but they would be, what is it? Sexist, I guess.
Sexist and racist. They're like
Jesus,
they're terrible.
the biggest of the
Sharon
galaxy.
are like the worst people.
This is the worst. You know what I mean? Here he is, mother, queen.
There she is. Yeah, I'm excited about Michelle Yeoh just being in Star Trek and loving it. That part of it is very interesting to me. She's got a new look. Her eyes are a little different. She's wearing contacts. They seem lighter somehow. And she's just having a grand old time being the administrator of the station. She's like the sister.
She's from the mirror universe, which means, like, technically speaking, she has that thing where she can't see bright lights too much.
Oh yeah, these could be contacts that
yeah,
but also it's very dark on the
well, maybe that's why she's keeping things dark too.
Yeah. Okay, so wait, hold on, let me go back real quick. You can't really accurately...
You wanted to keep this as an hour? We've got 4 minutes to go through this 1 minute.
You have a little time to just go through the clips real quick and the characters, at least some speculation.
Yeah, we can go a little bit.
All right, audience, we're gonna go a little bit over. We usually keep things to an hour, but we got into a lot of side discussions,
side quests. Yeah,
we did go in side quests. All right, so this seems like the other main character. I think
handsome fellow.
This is a very handsome fellow, and I don't know if he's like the current Section 31 guy. That means Leland. He's like the Leland.
Yeah, he's Starfleet liaison, isn't he?
No, that's Garrett. This is Section 31. I think he's the Section 31 recruiter /
oh, okay.
Leader. You know, he's like what Leland. Remember Leland, the guy who got Borgified or whatever, or like, you know, Control took him. Yeah, Control took him over.
Oh, that's right. Jesus Christ, that guy. Okay, I was searching my Deep Space Nine knowledge there. Well, Sloan, I guess, is the recruiter.
Or he's like, he's like the administrator. So our friend Joel's heading out. By the way, there's going to be go check out Text Trek discussion from last night. I was at an event, so I couldn't watch it, so I'm going to watch it later. And also check Joel.
Cake is making fun of us.
Why?
That we go on tangents.
Tangents, you guys?
It's not true.
But check out Joel on the Text Trek stream, and then also Text Trek is going to do they haven't done it yet, I don't think, but they're going to do their reaction to Section 31 as well. It'll be a lot more organized than us. Father will have tons of screenshots and like
he'll know exactly what species everyone is.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, we're just like here, like, oh, that's a cool guy, or whatever. He's gonna be like, you know, Father is gonna tell you, and the Text Trek crew are gonna tell you exactly who everyone is and what's going on, and they're a lot more organized than we are. We're like kind of a
we're a different vibe. All right,
yeah, we're Section 37.
What's
Or Section 37.
Section 47.
Oh yeah, Section 47. So yeah. But anyways, check
a bit
that
more
out.
chill.
Yeah, we're a little more chill. I mean,
there's no point in having, you know, 2 channels doing the same thing. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah.
It's redundant.
Thank you, Dave. Yeah, we are Section 47. But anyways, so yeah, that's who I think this character is. And I think I don't know how much of the story survived from like what, you know, Erica and Bowie came up with. But this might be, I always imagined that when Leland you know, died, that Ash Tyler was perhaps the next director of the Section 31
Oh,
group.
really?
So since that character's out, would be much older by this time period, it makes sense not to have Ash in this question for you. Do you think there's going to be time travel, not just flashbacks, but do you think we'll have actual time travel occur in the show?
I don't know.
I originally did, but now I don't.
Yeah, I assumed that would be the case. I don't know why. From the beginning, I assumed that they would be like dimension hopping, time traveling, kind of stuff. But maybe not. Maybe I think we'll have flashbacks to Pujoju's youth, and then that's pretty much it. Especially considering like technically she is sick, like she's ill from like she has this illness, from this, so she can't be jumping around all the time. Like she'll be like Gwyn and start fading out or something, So no, I don't necessarily think so.
This is interesting. This is like her office or her personal pad or something, is what I imagine. Perhaps
on IMDb, the writing credits, so directed by Olatunde Osunsanmi. Writing credits, they've got Brian Fuller.
Oh,
and Alex Kurtzman, but this is because Star Trek Discovery, right? They created by
the era,
yes, and then Gene Roddenberry, of course, but they have written by Craig Sweeney, but they also have written by Erica Lippold and story by Boyoung Kim.
So yeah, there's definitely going to be incorporated. That's cool. That's exciting that which survives.
Yeah.
Her lair, yes, Cake. That's a better way of putting it. There's another view of the station. I don't see any docking ports. I think you just beam in and out of the station, which always makes sense to me. Like, why does a space station need to have only so many docking ports? You can just beam in.
Well, you gotta come on. You have to be accessible to everyone. Like maybe not everyone.
Right, there might be
transporting, or some people maybe they're like they can't transport if they're
right. It's a huge station. Look at the size of these windows. It's crazy.
Some people don't have the tech. You don't know. Like you need to be able to dock. Come on.
Any Trek Yards fans in the audience, have the Trek Yards lads done a breakdown on the space station? Is there enough info to do that yet? I don't know.
They probably done a trailer breakdown, but then eventually they'll talk about the station when the movie comes out.
We're gonna see this design, I guess. This is the bridge of their ship, their Section 31 ship. And again, I didn't expect it to look anything like Starfleet ships. They're unmarked. They don't have like Starfleet livery.
Well, they're covert, aren't they? They're supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the kind of mirror universe, obviously, flashbacks, and I think that girl or lady in the front there is Georgiou as a young woman,
a young lass.
We may get the story of her succession.
It could.
That could be a thing.
Wouldn't mind seeing how she got all the titles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be. Oh, yeah, that's right. She has a lot of titles. I forgot about that.
1 million titles. So this
now
is
here. Yeah,
that's how we met her.
Yeah,
like in Discovery season 1, I think it was that we met her.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is what she looked like, right? There's like this kind of like
this is clothing. The aesthetic. Yeah, the armor and everything else. The
So they really haven't revealed anything much about the story. Like we know that she's recruited. She's going to go on this mission. This is probably her young.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she had to kill. And we know that there's flashbacks.
I don't know. Yeah. Here's a tunnel. Okay, here's the ship. Now, this looks like the same landscape from the Mirror Universe flashbacks, and there's like fires in the background and battles. So I don't think this is a new ship in the Prime timeline.
Looks La Sirena styled.
Ish, yeah. There's a La Sirena vibe to it. I can't tell where the front or the back of the ship is. Like it could go either way. It's a very, it's an interesting design.
Well, technically,
huh?
They all go either way.
Do they?
Well, the ships, you can.
But like, you can imagine the Enterprise in this orientation. I think this, like, my imagination tells me
Yeah, but
she's
you're
in
in
this
space. You
orientation.
do what you want, right?
Yeah, it's true. Imagine that
Do
you're like,
they call it full reverse though, don't they?
yeah, they do call it full reverse. There's an aft and a, and a all ships are by.
That's it.
Okay. Let's see. We get.
Is that why they call it docking?
Oh God. I did not think you knew what that was and that you would ever make a reference to it. That's really. You surprised me yet again.
Ah.
Maybe not in a good way.
Oh.
This is not Starfleet Sohail After Dark.
It is.
He's super cute. I'm very interested in this character. I think that the blurb said he was a Romulan or
Okay.
half, or I know we're not supposed to say that, but his lineage may be
Is he biracial?
Biracial. Yeah, exactly.
There we go. Plenty of
Thank
bis.
you.
Bishipal, bipedal.
This is a very
biracial.
You guys have to look back at the last few minutes and listen with dirty minds. Oh God. Thanks, Cake. Yeah, he's very cute. Yeah, but I don't know what his character is, but he seems to already know Dave Gregory. We can share. I always say, future people are very like, it's all about sharing.
Well, the multiverse has explained that there's probably a million variants of this guy, right? So
yeah, there
everyone
you go.
can
I'll
have
take a
one.
multiverse variant. There you can have the prime timeline version. I'll take the kinkier multiverse variant.
The mirror universe version.
Yeah,
where he's all strapped in leather and shit.
Oh my. I'm also excited.
Character.
Yeah, I'm also excited about this character because they are the same species as Martia from Star Trek 6. A cameloid. So I'm very excited about them. We have those martini glasses, by the way. We own the exact same martini glasses. So when the movie airs, I can come on here.
That's the big secret. You're in the movie.
I'm in
That's the grand reveal. Okay, I didn't know. See, this is the big secret.
What's this actor's name?
I don't know.
I've seen him in other things. He's a good. I like him, but I just can't. I blanked on his name.
Carry on. I'll find it.
Okay, cool. Dave also agrees. The actor is pretty cool. I agree. Oh, Dave can't remember either. See, text Treckle. When you guys watch
Sam Richardson.
Thank you, Sam Richardson. So yeah, excited to see Sam Richardson. He seems like a fun character to me.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get this bizarre tech that has the oh look, it has this. So this tech is from the Discovery days. That would not be
logo, isn't it?
Yeah, that would not be the. Although that's it's very interesting. I don't know. That's not the insignia that we know is the insignia at this time. Like even Strange New Worlds updated the insignia to look more like this. So it's interesting. I wonder what this says about this technology. It's something left over from that era. It's older Starfleet tech. Looks damn new to me, but looks like nothing we've ever seen.
Damn new to me, he says.
And yeah, I'm Cake is Eternal is asking what tech is that. I don't know what tech it is, but it seems to be some sort of hollow projector, or there's light involved or something. Ooh, do you think it's a message? Do you think it's a message from like
Leia.
Captain Pike?
Oh no, sorry.
Like a message just for Giorgio or something from somewhere? I don't know.
Do you think we're going to see Philippa Giorgio? Like not the Emperor, Prime Giorgio.
How old would she be? Why would we though? She died in the Prime timeline.
That doesn't mean anything. Death is.
I know death is. I don't think we're gonna see Philippa Giorgio.
Okay.
I don't think, unless it's in a flashback.
Okay. I don't know about
Um,
this. I don't know what's going on with this thing.
Just first impression, is that Andy Samberg? I know it's not. But oh, it's a hollow from Linus. I like that.
Yeah, man's got like a mech suit on or something.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's giving like war suit, right? Like a battle suit of some kind.
Yeah, it's Elysium. It's giving me Elysium.
Oh, I see more of that Die Stop Repeat movie. What is that?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Tom Cruise. Edge of
And there
Tomorrow.
she is. This is what anchors this movie in a certain time period is Rachel Garrett's character.
So this is confirmed.
How else could Rachel Garrett be here? You don't need a confirmation.
It's
They
not
put a
another.
character.
It's not another Rachel
No,
Garrett.
it's confirmed that that's Rachel Garrett. The character is Rachel Garrett.
Okay, but it's confirmed to be the same one. It's not like some other.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's only one Rachel Garrett in the entire universe.
In the prime timeline, I would say, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, but I like that I would love it. That's the other thing I would love. I would love to see her actually recruited for this mission and she's wearing the Monster Maroon. I want to see the Monster Maroon. I want to see it. Or like whatever if she's a cadet, I doubt it. She's probably a lieutenant. She's probably an officer that's a little higher ranking. So she's at minimum Lieutenant Garrett here. Maybe
she's wearing the mini maroon.
Maybe Lieutenant Commander Garrett at this point. I don't know what her assignment is at this point. We don't know anything about the character.
Is she civilian here?
No,
or she's just off.
She says, I'm here to make sure Starfleet's here to make sure you don't commit any murder, which
okay, so she's just off duty or undercover.
She's undercover Starfleet.
Okay.
And I guess she's going to be the moral compass to make sure. I guess Section 31 always needs someone to remind them not to go too far, and I think that's what this character might be. I don't know what Garrett's purpose will be.
Okay. Intrigued, interesting.
Yeah. And it says here to protect the light.
Yeah, you must embrace the darkness or whatever it is.
I don't know. They fight in shadow.
Okay.
Is the next the next line. I was like, what is it? Okay, so here they are as a team. Oh, minus the Kamaloid character. Okay, so what is
so it's like a ragtag team basically.
This seems to be the danger.
Danger alarm.
And like this little area here seems to be the same as the bunker that they're coming out of. So I think it's all tied in somehow. And
so this is like a threat to the galaxy once again, right?
I don't know if this is the threat, but this has something to do, I think, with the threat. Maybe this thing is opening a portal. Because we see that weird portal.
Do you think they're gonna fight Synthulu?
No, I don't think we'll ever see Synthulu. You really like Synthulu, don't you? This
I want a conclusion to Synthulu.
It's
you can't just
it's
establish this giant being that at any given point can decide to come back and destroy everyone, and like we don't have any.
They don't decide to come back at any point. They only come if they're called.
Yeah, at any point they could be called.
No,
like what if some random species that's just outside of the Federation start developing AI and what have you to the same extent?
I'm sure they've destroyed other civilizations or other galaxies. I'm sure.
You mean?
Yeah.
Well, I don't like that.
But there's so many
story. Tell them it's not nice, and then they and then they leave, and then they don't do it again. Jesus.
All I know is that our galaxy didn't get affected by Synthulu.
I don't care about the other people in the
Who cares about M31 or Andromeda or whatever else.
Oh,
Let
okay.
them make their own mistakes.
Oh,
That's an interesting thing that you bring up. Just a quick aside. I am kind of deeply longing for Star Trek to breach the galactic barrier.
oh yeah. Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
it's time to just start going to other, especially in the 32nd century. It's like, why can't we just go to other galaxies? Technically, the spore drive should have worked that way. I think they
I
might
would
have had a
want to show
technobabble
Section
explanation
Andromeda.
that there's not mycelium in between galaxies, but I don't think that's true. I think there's mycelium.
I just think our mind isn't, we couldn't process how different other galaxies are. Like
The thing
every
is,
law
it
of
wouldn't.
like the
It
laws
would
of
be
physics,
more of the
everything.
same. I don't think it would be different. I think it
I
would be
don't want
more of
more
the
of the same. I
same.
want like wild and wacky. You know what I mean?
No, it will be that, but it can't be. I don't see, like, what
Warp
you
drive
can't
doesn't
have
work.
is
Like
the
ships,
laws of physics are going to be the same in our whole
they move
universe.
with
So there's going
love.
to be, huh? But other galaxies are an opportunity to, I think, expand the universe, if you will, of Star
Hmm.
Trek. Make it truly make it a Star Trek universe. And actually, I have to say, I forget, but the first extra galactic mission was Uhura on her ship, the Leon Grace. That's canon.
Okay, I don't remember that.
She somehow went, and the D's been outside of the galaxy too. Remember they went to that place with the floating head people?
Oh, okay. I
Remember
don't remember that.
that?
I remember floating heads. I don't remember that like the D escaped the galaxy, but I know that in the animated series they're often at the edge of the galaxy for some reason. I don't know how they get there, but
But anyways, I think this is the threat, and like I'm not sure, but this one in the front looks like it might be the Section 31 ship, and then that looks like another ship, and I feel like they were firing at it too. But the designs are completely not familiar to me, so I don't know. Here's Garrett in
I think
a different
Otter's
uniform.
correct. He says it's the next Trek series after the Kurtzman era is done. That's what he's saying. Like and I feel like that's because that feels like the safest soft reboot you can do for Star Trek. Like if really something were to go wrong and they would have stopped Star Trek for a few years and bring it back, they would probably bring it back in like another galaxy or something. That way they could do whatever the hell they want, but then they could still say, well, it's still technically connected. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. We'll have a discussion about
So
that
we have
when
like
that
a Mission
happens.
Impossible type shit where like they can change their appearance.
Well, that's the Kamaloid character transforming. I think it's
No, but
Giorgio.
yeah, but what I mean is like it's gonna be like a Mission Impossible type, or you said earlier like an Ocean's 11 type situation.
Oh yeah, but we've already seen that tech like in the original, not the original series. Sorry, in
We have
Star Trek.
actually, no, we have actually,
Discovery.
because
Yeah.
the Andorian was an Orion.
Oh yeah, that's right. And Colonel West was pretending to be a Klingon in Star Trek 6, but he had a
Can't be trusting anyone's appearance. It's ridiculous.
he had a mask that was very convincing until you
just
pull
gotta
it
poke
off and then it
everyone's
looks like
face. No choice. That's the poking protocol.
Yeah, I think the Kamaloid character is going to be really interesting. So here's something that happens that they showed in the trailer is that she either has a shield like in Dune that kind of makes her look wiggly and jiggly, or I don't
All
know.
right.
It's a very technical term, wiggly and jiggly.
That's it.
That's it. Or this could be what you were talking about earlier. This could be her illness affecting her. Maybe. You know what I mean? Like her phasing illness.
Perhaps.
I don't know what's going on here. More fighting.
This is
all right. So here's the interior.
People come for. We don't know what's going on.
Wiggly and jiggly. I resemble that remark. That's funny. But here's the interior of the Section 31 ship, and I am pleased that there's a lot of buttons. Well, because like it was weird that Discovery had like
I second that.
You know what I mean? Like
we do like
weird.
our physical buttons, though. Like even on the phones that we have today, we like having physical buttons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you were to take away my volume, like buttons, my up and down, for my volume, I would be thoroughly frustrated. I like hearing it click. So
That's
yeah,
pretty funny.
I
So
like
yeah,
dials and the knobs and everything. You know what I mean?
what do you think of the bridge?
It's small, doesn't it? It feels small, like an enclosed, which is very different to like what we've been seeing in recent years in Star Trek, where like they're very open areas. You know what I mean? A lot of space, like especially like in Strange New Worlds, like the bridge is massive. I don't know how they cram that bridge in that ship, but no, it feels but it feels submarine-y too.
It does have a submarine vibe, but I like that the aesthetic. Here, hold on, let me
There's no
show you.
wiggle and no jiggle in this bridge.
Check this out. I think there's like a lot
Mm.
of this is the last time we've seen the
You said
aesthetic.
you
This was
weren't
Star
ready,
Trek.
but you are ready. You're prepared.
Well, no, I'm
Just
just in a
pulling up.
flow. I'm in a flow state now.
Oh, he's
Um,
okay.
but like, see these like lit columns. I do see evidence of that kind of design in
Alien
this.
Romulus just came out,
Yeah.
and we still have all of like the dials and the knobs and the clickers and the rockers and the big clicky clacky tech.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't take away from the immersion of it being set in the future.
Yeah.
On the contrary, it just, I love it so much. It feels so real. I much prefer that than like the transparent screens, or the hologram things. Like that's just me. I prefer it.
Mm-hmm. But
But
like, there are a lot of flat screens here and a lot of displays. I mean, there's a different bridge, but there are also on the panels. If you remember Star Trek 6, there's a lot of knobs and buttons and things like that. So it's like this was a true transition from this to the next generation. Like that was the idea, I think, behind the production design. But that's what I'm saying, is that like the Section 31 ship kind of feels like maybe an older ship, but also, like it might have been in service for a while. So it kind of matches the aesthetic. So that excites me a little bit more about the possibility that if we do see the Enterprise B, she'll look like, an updated version, but very faithful to that Star Trek Generations, kind of style. Which, by the way, Enterprise B was, if I recall correctly, everything was TNG style flat panels. Like there were no more buttons and knobs. I don't remember seeing them. I think everything was at that point flat panels.
That's what Tom Paris brought back, though.
Tom Paris brought back buttons. He
brought back the joystick.
Let me see if I can pull up the Enterprise B.
No, actually, like the Delta Flyer has plenty of buttons and stuff.
Yeah.
Gauges and what have you. I gotta go. Stop.
Oh, okay.
Stop.
Okay, sorry. Okay. All right, no more tangents. Okay, we're almost done. Look, we're almost done here.
Outrageous.
All right, this is that character that they're interrogating.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with him.
Yeah.
Well, he looks like something from like another movie entirely.
Another view of the bridge. They show us a lot of this bridge.
He looks like he comes from like Alita Battle Angel or something.
So this is that's the mom. Maybe. Over
Perhaps.
There. I think this is the character that we saw in I think this guy is the character that we saw in Disco, that scene where he's bleeding out or whatever. So I don't know what that will mean. This guy's in it a lot.
I don't know who that is, but yeah.
I think this might be a Deltan. We're talking about aliens.
Okay.
Here's your explosions. Here's more ship shots.
Yeah, spike explosions.
Look, see, this is an interesting ship. By the way, I liked
spiky ships.
Huh? It is a spiky ship. I like that the torpedo sounded very similar to this era, I think, how it's supposed to be. Ooh, Commodore Trev's here. Yo. We're almost done. Toddy has to go.
Yeah,
he only has limited time for me. Oh, you got to go to work. Oh,
no,
let me not keep you.
Not to work. I gotta go. I gotta go save the multiverse.
This might be phasers that are beams instead of pew phasers.
It could be, yeah.
Or that could be tractor beams. This could be like cargo ship or something like that. There's just so much we don't know. Look, windmills. Oh, look, there's a sword here. JoJo looks different here. I don't know. And there you have it. Star Trek Section 31. So am I going to watch this movie? Yes. Am I excited? Not as excited as I have been for other Trek projects, but actually having this discussion makes me less worried.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Part of the joy of watching new Star Trek is talking about it with your friends.
That's true.
So
And we
even
did
if
that. That's what
even
we
if
did today.
even if it isn't necessarily the film, that you're looking for, the discussions that will come from it will be.
That's true. That's a really good point. That's a good note to end on. So thank you, Toddy, for joining me. Thanks, audience, for joining us. Really great points in the discussion. Art, Cake, Dave, Joel. Who else
Are
was
you
here?
excited for
Chuck.
Section 31?
Yeah, are you excited? Chime in. Commodore Trev says she is a Deltan and a member of 31. Yay for bald aliens. Yeah, yay for bald aliens indeed.
Indeed.
Yay for
But
bald
not yay
people
for
in
bald
general.
Klingons.
Why? What are you talking about? Bald Klingons are great. What is it when they're at war, right?
No,
Dave
I'm fine with them
says,
being bald. I just don't like their elongated skulls.
oh yeah. Whatever. When they got hair, everyone stopped complaining.
Which is ridiculous. It's
no.
ridiculous. I hate people for doing that. What? That's stupid. They still had the skulls. They look like xenomorph. Jesus. Anyways,
everyone, we will be
sailed.
back with our on another channel. I have an After Dark channel, and over there we do discussions about stuff that's not Star Trek related. So we'll be back there doing our second breakfast discussions, and right
Still
now
figured out how we're going to structure that, but we'll do some.
We'll figure it out, yeah, and let you know. I don't know if we're gonna do a few episodes, but it'll be announced. As for our regular discussion series here on this channel, at some point we're gonna ramp back into our Star Trek Lower Decks discussion. So we did kick it off with me, Joel, and Marcelo, but we haven't continued it. Starfleet Sohail has been a very busy Starfleet officer trying to keep Section 31 in check. Yeah, I got to keep those Section 31 people.
Told you were in this movie. It's a documentary about your life, is what it is.
It's a documentary about my life. So yeah, they're like extremely active during the holidays. So we'll let you know. Yeah, those guys they're trying to foil the spirit of the season. Oh, look who's here. My little.
That's right. We had a whole comic book, right, with Fathery. The Grinch. The people, the Grinch people. They attack every holiday season.
This is my Cation friend that came to join us. Oh, okay. Anyways, so yeah, stay tuned for that.
Is there a certain tolerance to pain involved with the Cation?
He does have his claws, but he never puts them on me. It's really nice. Like I could provoke him and he'll never claw me, which is very sweet. He should love you. Okay. Live long and this, and a lot of people say it looks like Spot.
Does actually, yeah.
So live long and prosper, everyone, and we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you, Toddy. All right.
Thank you, everyone.